Well, welcome everyone and hello. This is a short film about meditation, spirituality, spiritual healing, working with music, and it can change your life for you. My name's Ruth Kaye, and I've been given this gift of healing for over 40 years, and I'm still learning, but I'm hoping to share it with people I've never met, and I hope it can change your life for you.
Well, I've been coming to see Ruth now for 2.5 years. I got into coming to these meditation sessions purely to support my wife initially. I came along as I suppose her carer, very sceptical at first, sat in on some of the one-to-one sessions, and having left them, having the session purely myself, came away feeling totally different. So that spurred me on to look into it a little bit further, and had a couple of one-to-one sessions and really got a benefit of coming. Very, very difficult to say what the benefit is, but you come away from the sessions feeling calmer, feeling you can take on the worries of general life, and it's helped me to cope with my wife's illnesses as well.
I discovered through Ruth a route that I would never have discovered for myself, ever. She put me in the direction that I needed to find. For me, I needed to find the key, but it was in me. I was locked. And because I was locked, I couldn't see my way out of where I was lost. So I, myself, through Ruth, who was the catalyst, found the key to open the door to what I was looking for, and it was there all the time.
There's more to the constitution of man than the physical, dense physical that we see. We are just an energy body. Energies are just flowing around all the time, and we need to circulate those energies. Hence the need to give love to anyone you come across. You're circulating this universal energy that we live and move and have our being in. We're circulating those energies, and it moves through the subtle bodies first and out onto the physical. It should have the effect of being sort of more peaceful, more understanding, and more giving.
I found when I was diagnosed with cancer, it was such a shock to me, and as a medical practitioner myself, I have always been aware of how the mind and body can't be separated, and that if there is an imbalance in your life, then you're more susceptible to illness, you don't cope with illness as well. And I feel that is due to some sort of energy that you may not be able to put in scientific terms. But I found for me that that balance was put back into my life through various reasons, family support, but also through this meditation group. So yes, I do believe it's some sort of energy that's harnessed from I don't know where, but I do believe that's what happens in this group.
It takes you back to basics, to the way you were before the problems of life and the stresses of money and jobs and health and everything else sort of stacked up on your shoulders. It's sort of, just even if it's just for 10 minutes, it maybe frees you of all the burdens of your everyday life and just takes you back to being stress-free, if you like, and calm and peaceful. And then perhaps when you come out of the meditation, then just because you've had those 10 minutes, when the everyday things start to stack back up on your shoulders, you feel more strength to deal with them. I think that's how it works for me anyway.
I've been seeing Ruth for about 7 years and had cancer. When I was having radiotherapy, I just picked this leaflet up and it said that you could get tapes of Ruth, and found this tape of Ruth and I took it away. And then about a fortnight later, I was watching the television and there was a programme on trying to prove about alternative remedies, and there was this woman called Ruth on the television, and it was just like, that's it. And so I got this tape out and there was a number on it, and I thought, I'll ring this woman and I'll never hear from her again. And I rang and left a message, and the next day Ruth rang me back, and that was it. And I've been coming since. I cried all the time. You see now.
Why did you cry?
She just brought me some peace. She still does. I think there's something in everybody that helps yourself, and it's finding that, and Ruth helps you do that. It brings you some calm, and I still need it. That's why I come.
Suppose you're living in this world, you appreciate it, you see its problems, you have all sorts of pain in yourself from what's happened to you over your life. You cannot flee to a doctrine which claims to solve everything. What can you do? Well, you find that there's actually a source of love and peace within you. And that can come in your own way through a meditation. It can come with the help of another person through healing. She is simply there to serve this good cause of helping people who come to her. So in that sense, she's doing her healing in a totally pure and non-violent way. And this is another thing that makes her so admirable and also so effective. And a reason why, as well as being a very deep personal friend, I find her work so inspiring.
The door opened and there stood a complete stranger with a smile on her face. And suddenly, everything just felt calm. And she sat down and she began to just gently, in a gently spoken voice, just start to talk, unprompted. And being the skeptic that I am, I just laid there and listened and just felt the warmth almost washing over me. And then we were together for maybe 3/4 of an hour. And then within the space of a week, I'd been to see her 3 times. And each time it just got better and better.
I come from a scientific background, but this is something totally non-scientific, and it just transforms you to a different place, really, that's just totally indescribable. It's just a wonderful feeling of well-being. And it doesn't just sort of carry through the day, it sort of carries me through my life, really. I can only accept it, really, by not trying to analyse it. At first, I didn't know what I was coming to, but really, sort of within a couple of sessions, I was sort of really at home with it, and I didn't try and analyse it, and I think that's the best way.
So I want to reach out to everyone who's struggling and say, look, use your breathing. It's a focus. It's so simple. It's breathing in everything positive, constructive, and letting go with the out-breath all negative thinking, all doubts, all worries, all fears. Putting everything negative in a box or in a sack. Put the sack or the box outside the room. Another little exercise you can do is put all those fears and worries in a pink balloon. Take the string in your hand, watch it disappear out of a window until it's a tiny speck in the sky and it's gone. And you feel lighter. It's a journey, a change of direction, a feeling of warmth, of sentience, of comfort.
When meditation is at its best, it's a process by which you put down everything. You drop your identity, your personality, your thoughts, your opinions, your views, all the things which are concerning you, and you just allow yourself to become simple and to become based in the energy that keeps you alive. And that is the most gloriously rewarding process. I know a lot of people, when they practice meditation, begin to feel uncomfortable because their concentration isn't all that they wish it would be, or they try and force themselves to keep their mind away from wherever it's wandering. And I don't think that really matters. I think actually one of the key things that you have to do if you're going to take up meditation seriously is resolve to be nice to yourself. And if you find yourself thinking about something, while you might gently shift your attention back towards where you would hope to keep it, you can't start going, well, this is terrible, I'm thinking about the wrong thing, or I'm wasting my time. Otherwise, you're going to do the complete opposite of what meditation is intended to be. And the very act of attempting to find a point of strong, still inner focus is in itself a blessing which brings the most wondrous rewards.
Just a sense of relaxation, as if I'm wearing cotton wool. That might sound a bit weird, but I feel as if I'm wrapped in cotton wool, or something really soft, and everything I just feel relaxed, and almost sometimes like I can't feel my body. I just feel a little bit the aches and pains and the feelings of life don't just seem to disappear, and you just feel calm and relaxed and still, and it's just nice. It's like it takes you to a different place.
I think a lot of people will benefit from meditation because we're all rushing around, and it's a case of we don't have time for ourselves. And if you think to yourself, right, meditate for an hour or so a day, or even 10 minutes if you can't manage an hour, 5 minutes, it's up to yourself. It just brings you back down to where you are. It clears your mind. It helps you think. And I certainly think when you've got big decisions to make, it's a good way of relaxing your mind so that you make the right decision for you.
Benefits I've found have been kind of greater clarity of thought, less attachment to emotion, especially negative emotions. The ability almost to control your emotions or decide to interact with your mind when you want to. So when when you're feeling great, you can really feel that. But the moment that things start going wrong, you start having negative feelings towards things, you just are able to view it. It's still going on at some level. You're still there, but you're witnessing maybe negative emotions, negative feelings, and you realise how they're kind of illusory. They're kind of self-created, and through that you can kind of go beyond that. And beyond all those emotions, beyond all those negative emotions, there's a greater still kind of place that actually can be very blissful.
I believe it's about calming the mind, and when we calm our mind, then automatically the body begins to relax as well, because we are mind, body and spirit, and so it will help to ease muscle tension as well as relax the breath, and anything that can calm the mind for me is very useful. Somebody who's never tried meditation, I'd say give it a go, because you will probably begin to realise just how active the mind is when you begin to meditate, because often I find the first experience of meditation, the person's almost thinking, well, how long have I been sitting here? And I'm doing well here, I've managed to stop thinking for a while, and then realise that they are actually thinking. But I would say give it a try, because it's something that is a technique that you can learn and practice, and it becomes a way of life. It really does. And when you begin to feel the benefits, you really do want to explore it further.
I certainly don't think it does people any harm. At the end of the day, there's people all over the world that don't have access to modern medicines and the things that we do at this side of the world, and if these things didn't have something in them, then they wouldn't have survived for all these thousands of years with people avidly practicing in other parts of the world. So I certainly think it's an extra tool that we probably don't tap into at this side of the Western world as much as what we ought to do. And really it's a bit of a nothing to lose situation. What have you got to lose except 10 minutes of your own time making you feel peaceful and relaxed?
I can't stress it enough. It's worth a try. It's worth a try. You have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. Nothing to be afraid of. It doesn't harm you or anything. And there's no cures. A healer doesn't cure. There's one thing that should be understood. The healer doesn't cure. All the healer tried to do, an aid, is the balancing of the energies within the system.
There are these ripples on the surface of the river, it's a great, deep, still, or lake or something. And these ripples on the surface are your emotions and are the constant stresses of day-to-day life. But if you're identified with that deeper, still water, they're hardly noticeable. They're there and you experience them, and that's fine. You know how to deal with them, react to them appropriately. But they're just ripples, and you have this greater sense of stillness underneath. Whereas if you're not in touch with that yet, you're only identifying with a very top surface level, in which case those little ripples seem like these massive tidal waves and you're totally caught up in them. And I just think that's a great analogy, yeah, to be like closer to that feeling in your day-to-day life. It's great.
You're open, but you're not aware of it. And so, when I actually come back, I say come back, I don't know where I've been. When I come back, I feel refreshed, I feel happy, I feel I can do anything, absolutely anything. Strong.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed the film, and I hope you might have gleaned a little bit of understanding about the biggest enigma that possibly ever existed, which is spirituality. So many takes on it, so many beliefs, so many religions, but we don't need religion. We need to find ourselves, and I hope this has helped whoever's watching it to be self-empowered, to find self-fulfillment and inner joy.